Chapter 15. Trixie growled in frustration. Can she have some peace for 5 seconds? She glared at the four thugs staring down at her and considered her options. She was tired and on the ground, surrounded by 4 Brutus stallions, and had nowhere to run. No way she could take them all on a fight. Trixie threw up her hose. Fine, I give up. She was in no shape to do much of anything right at the moment. Smart silly, said one of the stallions. Grab him. Trixie panicked as one of the burly stallions grabbed her by the legs and threw her onto his back. She felt her hose being tied together by a rope. A stallion shoved an apple into Trixie's mouth to gag her. Trixie felt humiliated as she was carried off like a sack of potatoes, felt her dignity being smashed to pieces. She definitely considered this one of her lowest moments. Her captors watched her carefully as they walked towards the road. No doubt soon she would join Twilight in a jail cell. Trixie carefully surveyed her surroundings. She would bide her time until she could find a good place to escape. Ridding herself of her bonds would be fool's play for a skilled magician like her. They might as well not tie her up at all. Trixie was in pain when one of her captors kicked at her ribs. Stop moving, a pony next to her said. Trixie glared at him, but did as instructed. They walked on in silence. They all froze when they heard some trees rattling. What the heck was that? One of the goons asked. Probably nothing. The pony carrying Trixie was about to say when a figure jumped out of the trees in front of them. Trixie stared wide-eyed at the strange new pony. The mare had green paint all over her body, and branches and leaves were entangled to her mane. The thing that struck Trixie out the most was the wild look in the mare's eyes that put the fear in her stomach. Put her down and leave now, the mare growled. This is your one and only warning. Trixie recognized the voice. Carrot Top? No, it can't be. The thugs exchanged nervous looks, unnerved by Carrot Top's stare. They soon got their confidence back and smirked. You don't scare us, one of the lackeys boasted. It's just 4 against... It's morphin' time! Carrot Top thrust her morphin forward. Scorpio! In a flash, Carrot transformed into her yellow armor. She pressed on a button on her morphin, a yellow round chromatic shield appeared on her right hoof. Her body language was menacing. She looked ready to strike at any moment. A wave of uneasiness came over Trixie's captors. It was apparent that Carrot Top wasn't messing around. Still 4 against 1, one of the goons threw out. Carrot Top responded to this by throwing her shield to the chest of the pony carrying Trixie. Trixie screamed as she was thrown off the thug's back. It was in pain as she hit the ground. After she recovered from the pain and shock of her fall, Trixie looked up towards the fight. It only took about a minute for Carrot Top to demolish any attack the goons tried to put against her. Carrot Top unmorphed and stepped towards the growing thugs. Are you okay? Yes, just fine, Trixie confirmed. Just her pride was injured. Trixie's eyes widened as she finally found herself thrown onto Carrot Top's back. Hey, what are you doing? Trixie protested. She scrunched her nose at her friend's overpowering earthly smell. Continue to safety, Carrot Top explained, starting towards the Everfree. Carrot Top, why are you going towards the Everfree? Trixie asked. I just got away from that death trap. Much to Trixie's horror, Carrot Top was not stopping her path towards the forest. Don't worry, I have a place we can rest in safety. No, this is a terrible idea, Trixie shouted. Turn back now! Her protest went on deaf ears, and Carrot entered the canopy of Everfree. At least let me untie myself first! Trixie winced as she fell off of Carrot's back onto the hard ground in unceremonious fashion. She made quick work of the rope around her hose and stood up. Somehow Carrot Top could navigate the Everfree without running into anything dangerous. Was astonished Trixie. She knew Carrot knew the Everfree well, but not this well. And where the hay are we now? Trixie growled. She was in a foul mood after being treated like luggage. This is the chorus hut. Carrot Top pointed towards an ugly gnarled tree with a door in it. For some reason, it had multicolored gourds on its branches. So, this is where she lives. No wonder I didn't find it, Trixie thought. She considered Sakura a friend, but Trixie had a rocky start with the zebra. She simply didn't trust a mysterious, all-knowing mystics that liked giving cryptic advice, but made an effort to try and become friends with her, despite her misgivings. Trixie followed Carrot Top in as the door opened and entered. Sakura's hut was a strange sight. It had shelves with jugs filled with who knows what. More cords hung from the ceiling. There was a large pot in the middle, sitting above a cooking fire. Bizarre, creepy mask hung on the walls. Sakura was stirring something in the pot and waited as he entered. Goodies, get it up, and Dixie, my dear friends, Carrot Top told me about the problems you need mend. Trixie looked around the hut in fascination. Nice place you have here. Trixie froze and gaped when she saw a familiar, lavender unicorn sitting on a bench reading a book in the corner of the room. She had a large pile of books next to her. What the he are you doing here, Twilight? Trixie exclaimed. I thought Puss on Slugs captured you. I rescued her. Carrot Top thumped her chest in pride. Trixie! Twilight put her book down and gave Trixie a painful hug. I was so worried. Yes, Trixie wheezed. Me too. So, you've been here the whole time? Trixie asked. Twilight nodded emphatically. Yes, to pass the time, Sakura lent me some books. Trixie, zebra culture is fascinating. You have to read these books sometime. You've been here reading books this whole time? Trixie asked, a little peeved. Twilight nodded happily. Great! Well, I've been running for my life for hours, barely escaping death. You've been reading books completely safe! Trixie did her best not to grind her teeth in frustration. Good! Carrot Top said. Now that the effort penalty is here, we can make a plan for our attack. Trixie was startled at her friend's aggressive tone. Usually the carrot farmer stayed in the background and usually just followed orders and kept quiet to herself. Now like she was eager to bring the fight to the enemy. She was ready for a fight. Trixie wondered what caused such a drastic change in both her appearance and attitude. Patience, my friend. There's no need to hurt it, Sakura said. For Trixie's well-being, I must worry. Carrot Top sighed. All right, we have all night. She sat down, tapped her hoof on the ground. Carrot Top, Trixie asked. What's with the whatever this is, anyway? This is for camouflage, Carrot Top explained. Makes it easier to hide in the forest. Why are you doing this exactly? Trixie asked. She was still reeling for Carrot Top's new appearance. What struck Trixie the most was Carrot's wild and unstyled mane. It was odd to see the usually pristine mane so unkempt. It seemed unnatural somehow. And now Trixie that Carrot Top didn't seem to care, so he seemed happy like this. Carrot Top scowled. I live here now. I have little choice. So he explained what happened at Charlie's house. Trixie had difficulty to control her anger in Nightlight. How could he do this to Carrot when she's already lost so much? Twilight didn't seem to take the news any better. Quite a predicament you have fallen under, Sakura said finally. How can anyone be so cruel and selfish, I must wonder? Father, Twilight said with scorn. I'll get it all back, Trixie promised, somehow. Carrot Top gave an appreciative smile. You bet we win. They will pay that was for, sir. She turned around and scowled. They win, that I promise you. Trixie was taken aback by the raw anger Carrot Top was projecting. She was getting worried. Are you okay? Carrot Top looked away. I'm fine, she said in a tight voice and walked to the other side of the room. Okay, I think she's taking the last few days harder than I thought, Trixie thought. Carrot Top walked towards the door. Get some rest. I'll scout around. She left without saying another word. Trixie sighed and sat down on a bench. It felt good. Her legs were aching from all the running and near death. She rubbed her face and felt dead tired. She slept little last night, and the lack of sleep was taking a toll on her. Sakura, my morpher got destroyed, Trixie said. Do you have any idea how I might get it back? Trixie explained how Nightlight smashed it during their fight. It is not gone, my dear Red Ranger, Sakura said. The power still was in you. You never lost or became a stranger. Yes, obviously, Trixie said with impatience. I kind of already figured that. How do I get my morpher back specifically? She thought back to the time Corona tried smashing the elements to stop her and her friends from using them, and how that idea failed. If it broke once only to be fixed, why not again? Sakura didn't seem to like Trixie's tone, and narrowed her eyes in annoyance for a split second, before returning her face to her usual calm demeanor. She stopped for a moment before she spoke. I'm afraid what you seek is beyond my knowledge. This being beyond me is something I must acknowledge. Great, Trixie thought sighed. For once, Sakura's serious knowledge about the elements wasn't helpful. Have you tried to recreate it like you did the elements so long ago in a castle against the Evil Queen? Sakura asked. Hey! Oh, wait. They won with the next line. Trixie perked her ears up at this and watched Trixie with interest. It might provide a clue you might be able to glean. Jessie never thought of that, and racked her brain how even it happened in the first place. She couldn't remember the exact specifics. What she did remember is the warm feeling of having her friends by her side, what they meant to her. Maybe just concentrating on her friendship with the other Rangers would bring her Morpher back. She put herself in a cross-legged pose and put a hoof out. Trixie closed her eyes and thought of her friends, all the happy moments they had together, their connection as friends, and the hard-fought memories they had together. She gritted her teeth and created a perfect mixture in her mind. She pushed it in her mind for her Morpher to form. So, is it working? Twilight asked hopefully. Trixie growled and opened her eyes. Nothing. She couldn't believe it didn't work. Maybe she needed her friends nearby? Sakura seemed lost in thought. Perhaps it'll appear when it's most needed. Oh, I say probably at some awesome moment, when Trixie is at her lowest and she's feeling down, and probably some sort of important plot information. I mean, it's happened before. It's happened multiple times. You know how it goes. Hero loses their power, or their morpher's broken, they feel down, they feel weak, and then at the most awesome moment you could think of, boom! Powers are back! Maybe then your trial will be succeeded? Wonderful, Trixie said in a dry tone. That's helpful. She wondered how being chased by zombies or Timberwolves wasn't the time she needed her Morpher the most. I got it! Twilight clapped her hands together. Maybe a replacement will work. I have one you could use. Trixie blinked. A replacement? I've been trying to create my own Morpher, Twilight explained. It has been going well, but I do have one that could work if it has some power supply. Maybe your friendship power could do it? What is with everybody wanting to become a ranger all of a sudden? Trixie wondered. This idea seemed like it might work. Well, you get cool spandex, you get awesome weapons, you get a giant mecha, you get a whole package with being a ranger. Now, if it makes you feel better, Trixie, I don't want to be a ranger, I want to be a common rider. No, Twilight shook her head. It's still in my lab in Carolot. Figures. It couldn't be easy for once, could it? So why do you want to become a ranger? Twilight looked down. I thought maybe I could help you fight Corona. I need to make up for what I did. Trixie looked at Twilight down in the eyes. Twilight, you don't have to make up for anything. She wasn't surprised that the mayor blamed herself for destroying half of Plainville as the monster Corvus. It wasn't your fault. I know, but it's tough, you know. Having to live with the fact that I caused so much destruction. Twilight winced. The fact that I couldn't control myself makes it much worse. Trixie didn't know what to say to that. Instead, she put a comforting hoof on Twilight's back and gave her an appreciative smile. Sakura seemed to mull this over. The sins of the past weigh heavily and are not hard to be dreaded, but such self-loathing must be expelled. The monster Corvus you are no longer, Sakura said. Push forward you must, and your doubts you must conquer. If you become a ranger, we will be glad to have you, Trixie said with sincerity. Thanks. Twilight nodded. I almost have it. Almost. It's just hard to find enough air to transform. Trixie brightened. I got it. We should steal a gem from one of the Night Court's morphers. See like this plan. Using your own power against them would be so sweet and satisfying. What even are they anyway? Twilight asked. I know little. Trixie shook her head. According to the princess, they were created by cultists to make a super death weapon or something. Fast even those gems hold, Sakura said seriously. Ponies lost their lives to create them. A terrible sight to behold. Trixie's eyes widened. Are you saying that ponies were sacrificed to create them? The sacrifice was needed to create a gem strong enough to contain a god's power, Sakura explained, so the enemies could cower. No wonder the princess freaked out, Trixie said wide-eyed. What else? Only that 9 planetary gems exist, all that I know, Sakura said. The rest were lost long ago. Wait a second. Are there only 8 planets? Trixie thought. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Trixie beamed. Do you know where we might get one? Actually, Trixie, Twilight said, rubbing her back against the floor. These things sound like bad news. I don't want to use one. But, Trixie tried to say what was ever to Twilight. I'll find my own way to power my morpher, Twilight said with resolution. Well, okay, Trixie said. Maybe using an artifact created from evil isn't a good idea anyway. I don't know. If there's one thing I learned from Kamen Rider is that sometimes the best stories are the ones where you take what villains have given you and turn it on their heads and use it against them and kick their ass. Besides, Twilight brightened, I want to use science to create this morpher. I've been mulling it over in my head about trying nuclear fusion to power it. Nuclear fusion? What the hell is that? Some stupid science mumbo-jumbo, no doubt. Oh, we're going to call it a mega spell. He did it! He brought out the phone reference! Thank you, Trixie. Go for it. It might work. Twilight grunted in annoyance. But making it practical is difficult. Or you aren't advanced enough yet. Trixie was about to say something when Carrot Top burst in the hut. We are troubled. Oh no. Fisher found us, no doubt. It has us surrounded by an army. Trixie panicked. Outside, quick! Carrot Top left Sakura's home and the rest followed. You won't scare us alive, Fisher! You hear me? Trixie screamed as she jumped out of the hut and did a bow pose. She looked around and saw no sign of Fisher, Nightlight, or any other Night Court Rangers. Carrot Top eyed Trixie with amusement. What are you doing? Where's Fisher? Trixie asked, confused. That wasn't what I was talking about. Carrot Top said in patience. So what then? Trixie asked. Carrot Top pointed up, and Trixie's gaze followed her hoof. All she saw was a field of stars. I see nothing, Carrot, Trixie said, not getting what Carrot Top was talking about. Dear Luna Almighty! Twilight exclaimed. No way! Sakura also seemed to shocked, let out a curse in language Trixie didn't realize. What is it? Trixie asked in annoyance. Twilight turned to her, and much to Trixie's surprise, had tears in her eyes. Trixie, 20 stars are missing, Twilight said in a small voice. Corona! Trixie spat the word. Dark days are ahead, that is for sure, Sakura said in a solemn tone. Why the Alicorn princess needs that much power is obscure. Carrot Top rushed inside Sakura's side, came back with a star moment a few moments later. She pointed at an errant section of stars. Sure enough, Trixie could see what they were talking about now. It impressed her that all of her friends could somehow identify the missing stars on sight. Good thing she had so many friends that are astrology nerds. Okay, that's just wonderful. Trixie threw up her hose. She knew this meant Corona stole them from the sky to harness their power for something terrible. Carrot Top scowled. That's 79 stars gone now. You have to wonder if there'd be anything left by the time we stop her. Great! Who knows what she's playing? Trixie thought. This is not good. Trixie heard Twilight sniffling. Twilight, what's wrong? She said in concern. Twilight looked down, trying to wipe out her tears. How could she do that? They're innocent creatures. All they want to do is light up the universe and provide warmth to everything. Only a monster would do something like that. Trixie was surprised at the sudden outburst of emotion. She put a comforting hug on Twilight's shoulder. Carrot eyed Trixie with concern. Twilight gave her a weak laugh. Sorry, I'm not sure it came over me. Sakura put a hug to her chin. Don't be insane, Twilight. It is only natural for you to grieve for your present that have been lost this night. Twilight took a step back in surprise. My what? Corona wanted to create a perfect monster, I expect, Sakura said. For that, she infused you with the power of 7 star beasts, correct? Yes, Twilight said in hesitation. Perhaps the magic left a trace, Sakura said, and made you one of the star beasts' race. Plot point, plot point, plot point. Twilight looked horrified. Are you saying I'm still Corvus? She began to hyperventilate. Relax, and do not fret, Twilight, for you are no monster, Sakura soothed. The idea that the star beasts might have left a fragment of themselves in you, it must be something you ponder. Do not view it as something that must be feared, Sakura said. Instead, see it as a gift that must be revered. Twilight tried to get control of herself. It was difficult, but eventually she calmed down. Am I truly free, though? What if I lose control again? Don't sell your soul short, Twilight. A slave to Corona you are no longer. Sakura smiled. You are a strong city of great will and honor. You must not let the star beast's loss be in vain, Sakura said in seriousness. Instead, use it as a way to get into the Corona's main. Trixie scratched her head. I guess Sakura is trying to say, even though she isn't Raven Death anymore, she still has Star Beast power. Twilight turned towards the hut. Thanks. You've given me a lot to think about. She entered the hut. Socorro sighed. The poor man seems to believe that carrying the world on his back is a burden she needs to carry. If only she was more like you, Trixie, and too stupid to be so wary. Thanks, Trixie said dryly, gave a small laugh. Socorro laughed with her and retreated to her hut, leaving Carrot Top and Trixie alone. Get some sleep, Trixie, Carrot Top said. I'm going to give you a few hours so you can have what's next. Do you think we need to do a watch? Trixie asked, confused. You need more rest than I do. You barely slept the last few days. Carrot waved his hoof. I'm fine. I'm not going to take any chances, she scowled. Won't allow him to get even 30 hooves from you. I can't use you too, Carrot Top said in a small voice. They can take everything I own, but I'll never let them get you, ever. Trixie took a step back at the furious, angry look at Carrot Top's face. Carrot Top was serious. Her look promised retribution if any pony tried to even touch a hair on Trixie's head. Sure thing, Carrot Top, Trixie said nervously. Was Carrot always this angry? She wondered if this was years of repressed anger finally bubbling to the surface. I'll warn you if anything comes near us. In a flash, Carrot Top shoved to a nearby tree and vanished. Trixie looked around, but no matter how hard she looked, there was no sign of the carrot farmer. Trixie rubbed her face. What a day. So sleep sounded good right about now. She would have to talk to the rest of her friends on how to handle Carrot Top's new disposition. Dissy could handle it, right? She was good at talking to ponies. She would know what to do about this. Trixie froze and Terrace heard howling in the distance. Not again. Trixie panicked. She needed to warn every pony. They were in terrible danger. Guys, Trixie was about to say what she heard yelping, followed by crashing and the sound of fighting. A few seconds later, she heard several creatures whine when they ran away. You better not! Carrot Top roared. I better not see you around here again! Trixie gaped. Eventually, she put her jaw back in place. She threw her hose and decided to go to bed. Her problems could be worried about in the morning.